Okay, so Sanara MedTech, wow. They just had an absolutely massive year. We're talking a total business transformation, smashing records left and right. So you've got to ask, how'd they do it? And more importantly, what's next? Let's dive in and break it all down.
Right, let's start with the big one. This number right here, this changes the whole story for them. $103.1 million. That's their full year revenue for 2025. But, it's just a number, right? What does it really mean for the company?
Well, it means that for the first time ever, Sanara MedTech has officially crossed that $100 million mark. I mean, this isn't just a good quarter we're talking about. This is a huge milestone. It literally puts them in a completely different league.
Okay, so how'd they pull it off? Let's really get into the details of what made this year so pivotal for them.
Their CEO, Seth Yan, summed it up perfectly. I mean, to hit that $100 million number while also growing 19% year over year, that shows some serious momentum. But honestly, the story gets even better when you start digging a little deeper into the financials.
All right, let's pull back the curtain and decode the key numbers that were the real engine behind all this growth.
Okay, so what's really impressive here isn't just the revenue. Take a look at the Adjusted EBITDA. That's a big deal for measuring profitability. It's up a staggering 86%. But the real kicker? Cash from operations. They went from basically burning cash to generating almost $7 million. That is a massive, massive turnaround. And it's proof that this business is getting incredibly efficient.
So you're probably wondering, what's the secret sauce here? Well, it really boils down to one huge strategic decision they made. They call it the surgical-only playbook.
So for the longest time, Sanara was kind of juggling two things at once. They had their surgical products, but also this other division called Tissue Health Plus, or THP. And then they made a really bold call. They decided to just shut down the THP side completely. The idea was simple, really. They wanted to become a leaner, meaner, pure-play surgical company. And what that does is it lets them pour all their energy into products with better margins and get super specialized with their sales approach. It's all about focus.
And this isn't just a plan anymore. It's a done deal. They wrapped up that wind down at the end of 2025. So now every dollar, every person, every bit of focus is aimed squarely at that surgical market. And that focus, that's really the key to unlocking everything we've seen from them.
All right, so we've got this strategy. Now let's see how that's actually playing out in the real world, with actual sales.
This is where you can really see how smart they're being. To get that 19% growth, you'd think they'd have to hire a ton of salespeople, right? Nope. Their own sales team has been the same size, just 40 people, for 3 years. How? They use this really clever hybrid model, relying heavily on a network of independent distributor partners to do the heavy lifting.
And when I say that network is growing, I mean it's exploding. They went from around 350 partners to over 450 in just 1 year. That is a huge jump. And you have to remember, every single one of those new partners is another door opening into new hospitals and new surgeons' offices.
Okay, so adding partners one by one is great, but what if you could open like 1,000 doors all at the same time? How on earth does a company pull something like that off?
Well, for Sanara, the answer is one word: Vizient. So what is Vizient? They're the biggest group purchasing organization, or GPO, in the country. Think of them as a giant buyer's club for hospitals. If you can get a contract with them, it's not just a huge seal of approval, it's like getting a golden ticket.
Because that one single contract, it gives their product, BIASURGE, instant access to roughly 1,800 new healthcare facilities. And the best part? The pricing and all the terms are already worked out. This is a total game changer for them. It completely changes how fast they can grow from here on out.
So with this massive tailwind pushing them forward, let's turn our eyes to the horizon and see what the company thinks is coming next.
And you can just feel the confidence coming from management. For the first time ever, they've actually put out a full-year financial forecast. They're predicting another 13 to 17% growth. That's them basically telling the world, hey, last year wasn't a fluke. This is the new normal.
So how are they going to do it? Well, they've laid out a pretty clear 3-step plan. Number 1, just keep doing what's working with their sales strategy. Number 2, start making some targeted investments, both in R&D and finally growing their own sales team a bit. And number 3, get ready for a big one, a major new product launch in 2027 called OsStic, which is a synthetic bone adhesive.
So if you put it all together, you get this really balanced view. On the one hand, the opportunities are huge, right? You've got strong guidance, that massive Vizient contract, and a cool new product in the pipeline. But you have to look at the other side too. There are risks.
Their debt is up, expenses are climbing, and they did actually post a small loss in the fourth quarter while they were making all these moves.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? By cutting off a part of its business, Sanara MedTech has, kind of ironically, become stronger, way more focused, and more profitable. They have a clear plan, they have these powerful growth engines revving up. So, the real question is, was 2025 just one incredible year, or is this the beginning of a whole new chapter for the company?